So that's Banjo-Kazooie. It's a great game, and
It is amazing.
you should certainly play it. So at the end, Gruntilda is she when you beat her, the super mecha death Genju, like
Yeah.
which you feed eggs into the beacons. Don't ask how these things happen. Um, the so like so you feed eggs into this thing when you're like doing the final blow. You're like trying to like feed eggs into this statue, and like you do it, and all the Jinjus come to life, and they like wreck her, and she gets knocked off the castle, and she's trapped underneath a boulder. So like so everything is saved for now, and then in Banjo Tooie, it turns out Gruntilda has two sisters. So of course she has other sisters, more like a hocus pocus thing now. Now we're getting into other witch lore, which I know hocus pocus is your bag. I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
It's a it's a funny movie. It's actually on Disney Plus.
I know. I haven't gotten around to it.
It's a good movie. I mean, it's a good movie for a kid's witch Halloween movie. I think it was one of the better like Halloween movies from when we were a kid that was like aimed towards kids.
My favorite was Halloween Town as like the Halloween kids movie.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
I actually never seen a Halloween Town, so there you
Halloween Town is awesome. Our good friends, which we will give a shout out to, Chuck and Ashley Mecaluso and little Gianna at home. They actually live in St. Helens, Oregon. Chuck's a good friend from back in the day in New Jersey, and his parents like know Bobby Blitz from Overkill because he would go into the deli they worked at and buy things from them, and they would just talk metal, which is cool. But they live in St. Helens, where Halloween Town was shot, actually, and
awesome.
they and like all of the townspeople were extras in the little square in the beginning where they filmed, and they filmed the theater is a real theater. None of that was a set. That was the little town. And Ashley's uncle was she was the werewolf in the opening intro, getting a haircut in the barber shop.
That's funny.
Yeah, cool.
Wasn't that town also where they filmed like The Fog or something too, or some like Stephen King movie was in that same town, or there was some other town in Oregon that's been used for several different things.
No, maybe you mean by the water where the Goonies was filmed.
Oh yeah,
because I passed by that house. Like it's over by the shore. It's on the lower side of I forget exactly where in Oregon it is. I think it's like maybe like a town over. It might even still be in St. Helens. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I haven't been there in a long time.
That was where the Goonies was filmed. Actually.
Yeah. But they filmed a bunch of the '80s movies in there, and I think the Stephen King movie you're thinking of might be Pet Sematary.
Maybe
I think they might have filmed that there. But what else? They filmed a ton of things over in of '80s movies over in that little area. But
yeah,
the lady who owns the Goonies house, I guess she like didn't know what she bought when she bought it, but she hates living there because people are constantly coming up to the Goonies house to take pictures of it or take pictures with the house, or some people are trying to go in. I mean, I don't know, she had to have known, I don't know how she could have not known when she bought it, or maybe she always lived there and she rented the house, and she bought the house years before they did it, and then Hollywood started asking her to use it, and she said okay, and not knowing that these were going to be major blockbuster cult classics, and then people would start knocking on her door at all hours of the night.
Well, I feel like any house that's any house that's a pop culture house, quote unquote, that they would use for to shoot a movie or a show becomes a landmark. I feel like the people have to know what they're going to get into because it's well known. Look at the Sopranos house. The Sopranos house, people are driving up to all the time.
Well, we did.
Yeah, exactly. We did. So.
Yeah, that was fun actually. I had a job interview that day, so I took a picture in a suit in front of the house like a schmuck. but yeah, she had to have known, or but there's like signs in front of the house, and there's like a bunch of picket signs and like things, and she was like, it's like, don't come here, don't ask to take a picture, no, like, and it's like I wouldn't be surprised if there's a sign that's like, no, we're not the Goonies house.
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't like that. She doesn't like where she lives, and she doesn't want to sell it. But I'm sure the property value has been like great because people know that house.
Yeah, exactly. There's
so like I don't know.
Well, maybe that has killed the property value.
That could be too.
No one wants to buy it to live there because then they have to deal with the same crap that she does.
I'm sure some loving Goonies fan would buy it and
maybe
take care of it.
Turn it to a Goonies museum.
Probably. I mean, that'd be really the only. That'd be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Is if somebody does it, and I'm sure that there's a collector of that because there's a collector for everything.
Of course there is.